So, officer, what can you tell me about, what happened and what was going on that day?
I was just on patrol. I was driving eastbound on Lodi Avenue, and normally, as we're driving, we check if there's any pending calls or if there's anything going on kind of in the area that we're at or anything. And as I was driving through the tracks, I kind of, out of the corner of my eye, saw someone on the tracks. And I saw the gentleman in his wheelchair, and as I was driving by, it seemed like he was wiggling, like he was stuck. So at that time, I pulled over, activated my lights to make a U-turn to come back around. And as I made the U-turn and started driving towards him, the railroad arm started going down. So I immediately pulled over, ran over to him, and tried to see if I can get the wheelchair unstuck. I had initially looked to see where the train was coming from, and it wasn't coming from the right, it was coming from the left. And at that point in time, it seemed like it was a little bit of a distance. So I wasn't able to free the wheelchair, so I was telling him to get up, get up, get up. And as I'm talking to him, I see the train, and it's coming pretty fast. So at that moment, I just kind of grabbed his arm and pulled him. So he fell to the ground. I tried to get him again, and at that point, the train came by. And I'm not sure exactly what happened at that point, but I ended up falling back myself as well. Kind of heard a noise like the train hit something. Initially I thought that maybe I didn't get to him on time, or maybe wasn't able to get to him. And so I got up, turned around, saw he was still there. Got up, I saw he had injury to his leg. So I notified dispatch to call an ambulance for him. And at that point in time, it seemed like he was still close to the train. So I just kind of grabbed his arm and pulled him. I didn't want him trying to roll over towards the train or anything. So I just kind of pulled him, and my partner, Officer Delgado, showed up and applied a tourniquet at that point.
I mean, what was going through your mind as you're racing to get onto the tracks, try to save this guy's life?
Honestly, the only thing going through my mind at that point was, I got to get him off the tracks. It was just get him off the tracks, get him off the tracks. That was really the only thing that I was thinking at that point was, train's coming, get him off the tracks. Watching the video, it seems very surreal. It's almost like I'm watching someone else's video when I look back at that. In stressful situations like that, your senses seem like they're heightened, your adrenaline's going, and I was thinking back, I'm like, man, it really felt like the train was right in my face. And then looking back at the video, like, it practically was right in my face. So it was just, it was interesting to see it, watching it. One thing is living it, you're not getting, from the camera, you're getting one perspective, just what's in front of me. And you're not getting what's going through my head, what's going through my mind, but, I'm looking around, where's the train coming from? And so there's a lot of things happening all at once. And I know that I was told it only took a few seconds from the moment I got out of the car to when I pulled him, but like I said, it was very surreal.
Did it feel like an eternity as you were trying to get it? Did it feel like everything was going in slow-mo, or?
It did for a moment there. It just felt, like I said, to me, I didn't think the train was still a ways away. But as I got up to him and I grabbed onto him, I can see the train just approaching, and it was going pretty fast. So I got to get him off the tracks.
And when you pulled him from the chair, and you had that moment of, I saved this guy's life, what went through your mind?
Like I said, initially when I pulled him from the chair, he kind of fell to the ground. At that point, I wasn't sure, being that he was in a wheelchair, I wasn't sure what his mobility was. I know he had a cane, so I thought maybe there was a little bit of mobility there, that he had a cane with him, so I wasn't sure. But I pulled him, I tried to bend down, grab him again. That's kind of when the train came and I fell back. But initially, when I fell to the ground and I heard the noise like the train had crashed into something, my initial thought was I didn't get to him on time. Like I didn't get him, I didn't pull him far enough or something. And so that initial thought went in there into my head. I got up, looked back, and saw that he was still there, and he was conscious. He did have a leg injury, but I was okay. He's alive. He's breathing. He's conscious. So I kind of just grabbed him, pulled him back a little bit more. My partner was just blocks away, Officer Delgado, and he came and applied the tourniquet.
You've been getting a lot of praise on social media. A lot of people have been calling you a hero.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a hero?
No.
Why
I
not?
honestly don't. I don't think I did anything that none of my other partners would have done. You know, it's one of those situations where if one of my family members would have been stuck or needed help, you know, I would hope that someone would stop and help them. And that was just a situation that I felt, it was just one of those situations. Someone needed help, so I stopped and helped. You know, it is part of our job, but I think it's just part of being human. You know, someone needs help and you go and help. Like I said, it's not anything that I think any of the other men and women that I work with, they would have done. You know, I honestly hope he's okay and he recovers well.